Hi, I'm Michelle Brown.
Hi, I'm Corey Tressler.
This presentation is for school administrators who are considering the College Credit Plus program at The Ohio State University. You might be interested in having students from your school participate in College Credit Plus at The Ohio State University. As you are probably aware, the state has said that colleges should use the same admission criteria for College Credit Plus as they do for the regular entering freshmen. So we'd like to give you a little bit of information about the application process and who is a good candidate for admission to The Ohio State University. We do have a selective admission process for students who are applying for the Columbus campus. And most of our online classes are going to be offered through the Columbus campus. So that means that we are going to look at students' overall performance in the classroom, either their class rank or their grade point average, as well as looking at their course selection, their overall performance on standardized test scores, and we only use ACT, SAT, or PSAT. We do not actually use the Accuplacer or the Compass. So your students who are thinking about coming to Ohio State should be strong academic students. If you are interested in the program, you might want to look at the website for the OSU Academy, and there's lots of information available, including the actual application itself for your students and a place for high school principals and counselors to download our high school information form, to look at general questions and answers about the program, and to find out more how to help their students navigate the process. Applying to the Ohio State Academy is going to be a little bit more complicated than possibly some of the open enrollment colleges that you might be working with in your local area. We do require students to submit the actual online application. We need a copy of their high school transcripts because we want to see their course selection and their grades. We also are going to be looking at the standardized test scores. One thing that I notice gets missed frequently with schools that are not used to working with the OSU Academy is the high school information form. You will find this on the OSU website under resources for high schools. It's a fairly simple form, but it allows the principal or the counselor to tell us a little bit more about the student, to tell us about their level of maturity and motivation, to give us a short recommendation about the student, as well as to include some basic academic information. Please make sure to download this form and fill it out and send it in to us, because we will not be able to complete an application and process it without this information. Please make sure that your students meet our application deadlines. Our deadline for the fall semester is going to be May 1st of the year prior. For the spring semester, which starts in January, we will need applications no later than October 15th. And for students who are thinking about summer term, we will need those applications no later than February 15th. Because of the size and complexity of The Ohio State University, it's vitally important that we have all of the information in our office as quickly as possible after those deadlines. Once your students have applied to the Ohio State Academy, it will take us a little bit of time to process the application and give an evaluation. Usually it's about a month to 6 weeks before students will receive their notice of admission, letting them know if they have been admitted to the university. We may sometimes say that we need additional information, and we will be in contact with you about that, or if they unfortunately are not admitted. So we will notify both you and your students as far as the admissions decision. Then comes the fun time of actually scheduling classes. Ohio State does not offer classes taught in the high school, so our classes are all going to be taught either on one of our campuses or online. Students will need to go through an academy orientation process. And this is an opportunity for them to either come in person or do it online to find out a little bit more about how the program works, how to make sure that they understand all the resources of the university that they are available to use, and to kind of get a general sense of how to make sure that they have a good experience with Ohio State. Once they come to orientation, they will actually sit down with an academic advisor who will work them through the process, help them look at course schedules, how things might fit in with their current high school schedule, look at course prerequisites, figure out exactly how they might fit in an online class with their current high school schedule. So we'll spend a fair amount of time actually helping the students navigate all of the opportunities. We get asked all the time, what specific classes can a student take? And we have a very wide range. If they're coming to campus, basically they have to meet the prerequisites for the class. And if they're taking classes that are online, we have a growing number of online classes that are available for them. One of the changes in College Credit Plus is that books and supplies are the responsibility of the local school district. If you would like to use Amazon or other resources to purchase your books, that's perfectly fine. Though we do have a partnership with Barnes & Noble on our campus that we will keep informed of the students who are admitted and are eligible for funding. Our bookstore manager will be in contact with you to help set up all of the details for payment so that students who wish to use our resources can pick up the book, and then a bill will be sent to your school about a month into the semester.
We'd like to discuss a few of the best practices surrounding College Credit Plus here at The Ohio State University. One of the best practices around scheduling with students. These courses should be viewed as part of their high school course load and not on top of their course load. We want students to be successful, and we don't want to overwhelm them with too many courses, both on the high school side and the college side. These are designed to be dual enrollment courses, so they do serve both purposes. So please, when you're thinking about scheduling with students, have these be part of the student's course load and potentially have a study hall where they can go to participate in either their online courses if they're not coming to campus.
One of the things that you'll hear frequently is that for every hour of students in class, they should have 2 hours of study time outside of class. This is where you can help your students be set up for success by giving them that time actually in school to try to get their work in, to have time to view any online lectures, to do online homework. What we find is that the students who are trying to do all of their college work just on the weekend find themselves getting further and further behind. And that's a recipe for disaster. We want them to be successful. You want them to be successful. Give them that time in your school so that it all runs smoothly.
Another best practice would be to ensure that there is an adult that works at the school that's there to support the student in various ways. Maybe not necessarily on the content, but if it's an online course, potentially with the technology to check in to make sure that they're signing in okay and there's no technological issues. On the studying side, to make sure that they are studying and asking questions of the professor. Sometimes we see students, especially high school students that are in college courses, can be a little bit intimidated by the atmosphere and reluctant to ask questions. And the research is saying the more you ask questions, the better you'll do in a lot of these courses.
The students who participate in College Credit Plus at The Ohio State University are really true Ohio State students. That means that they have the opportunity to use all of the resources of the university. We have many, many great resources, including a world-class library, tutoring centers, so students should make sure that they are taking advantage of all of those resources. Some of those, as Corey mentioned, asking questions, includes making sure that they're going to office hours and talking to their professors and instructors. A lot of times the high school students are shy and they think that they're bothering their instructors, but the best way to get help is to ask those questions. So please encourage your students that if they're having difficulty, one of the first questions should be, have you talked to your instructor about that? Have you gotten clarification from your teaching assistant? Because that really can help them to become much more successful in that college class.
We'd like to talk a little bit about being successful in our online courses for College Credit Plus students. We offer a wide range of online courses, from gen ed courses like Intro Environmental Science to psychology to many, many others. We'll be featuring courses throughout our communications about College Credit Plus. Advisors will have access to the full list of online undergraduate courses offered at OSU. As far as technology needs for these courses, Ohio State uses a robust learning management system for all of their online courses. So students just need a laptop or desktop computer, Mac or PC, a tablet of any type, or a smartphone even to access the content. We prefer that they do have a laptop or desktop experience at some point when doing assignments or taking quizzes or various things like that. For any technology needs the students may run into, Ohio State does offer a Buckeye Bar, which offers technical support, and an online system called Self-Service, where students can drop in a note or put in a ticket about any needs that they have. One area that we're working on with online courses here at Ohio State is secure test proctoring. We are working on solutions to make this 100% secure and 100% online, but we're not quite there yet. Some of our online courses may require test proctoring to be done locally at the school. In these cases, both the student and the school will be notified of our test proctoring procedure. In those cases, we ask that an adult employed by the school administer that test and follow any of the test proctoring guidelines set by the course instructor.
You might be asking yourself some questions about whether or not your students are ready to take an online class. I personally wasn't sure how online education worked myself. So this past year, I signed up for the online Psychology 1100, and I was amazed at how well the course was designed to help keep students on task and following along throughout the semester. It was a combination of online lectures, having textbook assignments, having weekly quizzes and weekly assignments, and I found that but just by paying attention to what was going on in the class, I had no difficulty keeping up with what was happening. So that does mean for your students, you need to make sure that they're aware that they have to log in every single week, multiple times per week, that they have to be consulting the syllabus to know what's due, when do I need to take a quiz, how do I access it, and who do I go to if I have any questions. It can be a great opportunity for that student who is ready to be on top of things and to follow along and just keep up with the coursework.
As Michelle said, one of the biggest things about taking an online course is, yes, the content will be challenging for your students, but one of the biggest challenge areas we see in online courses is time management. That goes to both scheduling and making sure the students, if they are in an online OSU course, have some time during the school day to work on their stuff. But at the same time, the students need to set a schedule where they're logging in regularly, reading their textbook assignments or taking any activities that they may have been assigned in the course and completing those in a timely manner. There are a lot of luxuries in regards to time with online courses, but if you don't set a schedule and maintain that schedule, we see that students tend to fail or have diminished success.
One of the benefits of participating in College Credit Plus is that this is an opportunity for students to try on college, to figure out what it takes to be successful. A lot of the skills that will help them be successful in college are also skills that will help them be successful after college. So as Corey's already mentioned, asking questions is really important. Doing some basic problem solving. And sometimes I think students just aren't as in tune with what problem solving even means. And it might be that they've always had all of their problems solved for them. But on the college level, they are going to be treated as adults. So FERPA is a different situation on college classes than it is in high school classes. So once a student starts taking a college class, regardless of their age, the educational records belong only to the student. So that means that a parent cannot call and ask questions for them, cannot call and make excuses for missing class, things along those lines. The student has to start taking on that responsibility for themselves. It's very important that the students realize that they need to start being the one to identify if something's causing them problems and figure out how to fix it. For those of you who are new to working with Ohio State and College Credit Plus, we're very excited to help figure out how to make this work for you and for your students. If at any point in time you or your students are having difficulty, please contact me, Michelle Brown. My contact information will be at the end of this video. My goal is to help make sure that we get all of our questions figured out and that you and your students both have a good experience with Ohio State. So thanks so much, and go Bucks!